Will please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, do we have any public here for comment for items not appearing on today's agenda? Seeing none, we will wish everyone happy holidays, of course, and Merry Christmas. Moving on, do we have additions to the agenda from the board? No? All right. We've got meeting minutes from the December 16th meeting. If they're good, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the meeting held December 16th.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for the meeting held on December 16th. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And moving into our next item, which is the 2026 budget adoption. Richard, our most excellent finance director, will cover the topic.
So this has been a rather interesting budget season. The budget process begins in July with data collection and cost and revenue forecasts. Federal and state funding uncertainties certainly influenced the 2026 budget cycle. On October 1st, the department budget kickoff was held during the executive management meeting. September 1st, departments began submitting their budget and personnel requests. September 18th, the Board of Commissioners held their budget kickoff presentation. Through mid-October, the commissioners held 17 separate departmental public meetings. November 20th, the commissioners were presented with the requested budget. December 2nd, the proposed budget was presented, triggering the legally required 20-day public notice period. And today, we request your consideration of the 2026 budget following a very brief presentation. Thanks. So no real estate tax increase. The operating budget is $116.9 million, capital budget of $3.1 million for a total of $120 million. This is a decrease from the prior year because of reduced ARP spending, funding, and the completion of the community service building. The majority of this increase is the capital spending rather than the operational costs. This is the operational budget by function, and the three largest categories are human services, public safety, and judicial. And this is an indication of the state and the partnership with the county's priorities. Operational expenses by category, the three largest are personnel costs, contracts and services, and operations. Revenue by category, total revenue $115 million, grants, real estate taxes, and charges for services. At this point, any questions or comments?
Well, probably more in the comment category, Richard. Excellent job. As you were mentioning, you had about a week and a half from the resolution of the state and federal budget crises to when the draft was due for the county budget. So wanted to thank you, your staff, Controller's Office, county administration, the row offices, the courts, all the county staff, the 100 human service agencies that we work with, for everybody pulling together as a team and getting this thing done on time for the 225th year in a row. And essentially pretty close to being balanced. I know we're forecasting a $2 million deficit, and we may end up with one, but generally they tend to be a little smaller than what we have forecasted because we're pessimistic on the revenues and because everybody works hard throughout the year, and we usually end up a tiny bit under our expense numbers as well. So thanks again, everybody, for the great job on this year's budget. I'll pass it over to Commissioner Concepcion.
Yeah, I'll echo Commissioner Higgins' sentiments about, the challenges of this year, and thank you to Richard and John for the work going through a budget season that was really a little unpredictable, and also for all of our departments that have worked hard to maintain some real budget discipline throughout this past year and going into the next year with some of the uncertainties that we were facing. I will note that, we're always balancing these, competing needs of where we want to provide for as much as we possibly can through the county budget, while maintaining, as I mentioned before, some budget discipline. And some of the real challenges that this budget highlights is increased costs in employee health insurance. When you're a people-oriented organization, like most local government units, the majority of our costs really do relate to personnel, and so those can be significant budget drivers. But, I think this budget that we're taking action on today really represents like a balanced approach to, seeking to take care of our employees, take care of Center County residents, and provide the services that we need to within some budget discipline. So, yeah, thanks all around.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Concepcion. Commissioner Dershowitz.
First, thank you, Richard. You and your staff do a yeoman's job of getting this process kicked off and followed through. John, thank you for what you do. I think all the department heads and I think everybody in this organization has demonstrated historically that we understand the importance of meeting these budgets and actually exceeding them. And I think, to your point, Mark, earlier, we do have a slight structural deficit, but I think we are working our way every day toward minimizing that. And I think, again, historically, I think we've become very good at that. And I believe, Richard, and correct me if I'm wrong, we have a $500,000 MAT grant that's come in since this conversation Yeah, it was totally started. unexpected, and So that offsets that a lot,
Yeah.
right out of the blocks. And that's the kind of thing that we need to continue to strive for. But it wouldn't happen without a lot of good people in our organization doing a lot of good things. So we appreciate that, appreciate everybody's hard work. And actually, it's not always, you like to be generous and you like to provide everything to everybody. But I think we're all realistic enough to know that just is not possible. But I think we've come up with a pretty good compromise and a pretty good structural process to get not only what our employees need. I mean, Amber, you mentioned, we had a pretty serious increase in our health insurance this year, and that's just one element in our budget that, as much as we'd like to control those things, we just can't. And so, we're doing the best we can to provide, a good backbone of benefits and salary structure to our employees, but at the same time, provide the services that we need to our constituents. And we really do appreciate what the state's been able to offer us, and take that back to the senator, Mihai, because it's important that they know that their work is appreciated, because a lot of what we do relies on the funding from the state and federal folks. And human services really would not be anything without them. So we really appreciate that. So again, thank you. And look forward to working 365 days next year to do it again.
And we definitely would like to thank our state and federal legislators for the hundreds of different grants that provide about 42% of the county's budget. And at the various bell dedications on Friday in Phillipsburg and Bellefonte, we did thank, I believe had a chance to thank all three of our state legislators for their assistance with that. So very much appreciate all the hard work, the partnerships with the nonprofit sectors that allow the county to very effectively and efficiently deliver human services to, I believe it's roughly 42,000 people annually, which is about a quarter of the population of the county. Do we have any questions from the press on this topic? No. All right. Is there anything else we should do, John, before we pass the budget?
Nope, one final slide.
Oh, there it is.
Respectfully requesting adoption of the 26 county budget.
Great. Thanks, John. Looks like we're ready to take a motion then.
I will move then that we adopt the 2026 county budget as presented.
And I will second that.
All right, and so for the 225th year in a row, Center County government is now going to approve a budget on time. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thanks again, everyone. A lot of hard work went into this budget. So John, I believe that now moves us on to our resolution to keep property taxes the same.
Yes, before you for consideration is Resolution 21 of 2025, enacting a tax levy and rate that will not change for the 16th year. No tax increase is proposed for 2026, while service levels remain unchanged. The proposed millage on real estate assessed valuations will remain at 7.84 mills, 6.65 general millage, 1.19 debt service. We are seeking BOC action to adopt Resolution 21 of 2025.
Great, John. Thank you for going into detail on that. And I'm just thinking maybe we should have had Mark Kellerman here to remind people that 7.84 thousandths of the value of your property is based on the value of your property from, is it
1994.
1994?
It was actually accepted in 95, but it was 94.
Based on 1994, and even at that, we're only actually assessing it at half of the value.
And our tax fairness in Center County is exceptional for
Yes.
that period of time.
Yeah, we just reviewed that with Mark Kellerman a couple days ago.
Yes.
And he's mentioning that the taxes are applied fairly. There's 3 different measurements, and we're all well within international and national standards for all 3. So thanks again to his department for the very, very, very hard work of valuing almost 60,000 parcels. That is a lot of parcels.
And they are in the process now of transitioning to a new
Yeah.
Technology platform,
Yes.
a new computer program, which has been a real challenge for them,
Yep.
but they've managed to get through it, and I think it'll be complete here very, very soon. So.
Yes. Commissioner Concepcion?
Yeah, no, this continuing to maintain the tax millage at the same rate really represents a lot of work on the part of many people throughout county government. So thank you for all of that.
But Mihai, we still do need those grants.
Indeed.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
And the support of the state and federal legislatures and, and those budgets is, one of the reasons we're able to maintain where we are. So.
But it's important, I think we said it before, but I think it's important to state again that a budget is a snapshot in time.
Yes.
Indeed.
And it requires constant vigilance through the year. And, that's where you need to work together as a board of
Yeah.
commissioners and have the support of all our employees and all our department heads and the support of our legislators to make sure all that knitting comes together and makes a beautiful quilt, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good word for you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, when you're estimating expenditures of $120 million across 52 different types of services, it can be difficult, but usually we end up relatively close, usually to the plus side. So we appreciate that.
Every day, we look for economies and ways to do it better, so.
Yeah.
Great. Any other comments from the commissioners? Questions from the press? No? Just for us, this is a really important thing.
Yeah,
We've been working on this since August, Richard probably even before that.
I would suggest you probably have been working on it. You'll probably start next year's budget about January.
It's not quite like the Tournament of Roses parade, but pretty close.
That's good. Well, we appreciate all your effort
Yeah.
and working together with your team to make it so.
All right, unless there's anything else, I think we can take a motion.
I'll move to adopt Resolution 21 of 2025.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 21 of 2025. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Richard.
much, Richard and
Yes.
John. And now, we've got our department head for one of our 2 largest departments, Glenn Warden from the Center County Correctional Facility with a big contract.
Good morning. I have for your consideration a request approval for a contract renewal with Prime Care Medical to provide the medical services for the correctional facility. The contract is for $1,611,389.86 per year for a 5-year contract for a total of $8,056. I can't talk this morning.
Big numbers.
$949,050 30
cents.
numbers.
30 cents.
Yeah, too big of numbers.
type
this
small.
Give or
morning.
take.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2030. So we've been longtime partners with Prime Care. I believe they first came to the county when the correctional facility was where the sheriff's office is now. So they've been with us for a while, so.
definitely appreciate their offering mental health services to the returning citizens, and also the medical
program.
assisted treatment, which thank goodness we just received the $500,000 grant to help cover, because
Yes.
while it's expensive, it's also very effective.
Yes, very.
Both anecdotally and from the numbers that we've seen. And
Yes.
I know, Glenn, you've had a few really sad stories about people who would be in the facility for a few months, come out, overdose, and die within weeks.
Yep, it's unfortunate, but it's happened, and the HOPE Committee, we get reports every other month on the number of suicides in the county, and they are drastically lower.
Good.
We're hoping this is contributing to those numbers. But it's still very early in the program, but
Yeah.
we've had some pretty good successes so far, and obviously the new grant will help.
Yeah.
And after that one was awarded, they just announced another new one that Carrie and I are looking at to see if
Oh,
we
very
can
good.
maybe get some more funds for the program, so.
All right, and while every overdose death is tragic, the number of overdose deaths in Center County is not just the lowest in the Commonwealth, it's one of the lowest in the entire country.
Yeah.
I think that's in part because of the work of you and your staff and the new drug court in the court system, and the HOPE initiative, and the many human service agencies that the county partners with. But I'm kind of hogging the time here, Commissioner Concepcion.
Yeah, so thanks for your work on this contract. I know it's been, some back and forth to make sure we had the right numbers and
Yeah.
that we're going to work for both our organization and for theirs. And, it's worth noting that this was the lowest bid in terms of,
Yes.
proposals for providing the service. And we've had, a good experience in that they're able to provide pretty comprehensive coverage. And, in Center County, we don't do the minimum in terms of what we're required to do. We try to make sure that we're providing really comprehensive medical care. And that's what this represents.
Yeah, correct.
Healthcare is expensive.
It's very expensive.
And, as we know, it doesn't go down in cost, it goes up.
No.
And I think this is a fair assessment of where we need to be as far as providing the care for the folks that are in our custody. But to go back to the MAT conversation, what I'm really actually very happy with is we have the opportunity now to use a variety of different treatment methods with this money. And so with that, we're required to provide those. So this will actually be a tremendous net savings to the bottom
Yes.
line for the taxpayers of Center County. And at the same time, provide the level of care, which is going to save a lot of lives. And just as an anecdotal thing, when the HOPE initiative was just like a little spark in a few of our eyes, it all came because at the jail, there was a marked increase in the number of folks that were coming out of jail and exhibiting, the effects of overdose. And this is really, that was kind of the germ of what started this, and I think it demonstrates that same importance now that we maintain those MAT programs and all the things that provide those life-saving services that, a lot of counties just don't have. And
Correct.
And we've been on the vanguard of that for a long time, and I think it's shown in our statistics here locally. And a lot of that's because of your hard work, the hard work of Prime Care, and the counselors at our facility through, MHID and DA, and all working together to make a big difference. So
Yeah,
thank you.
it's definitely been a collaborative effort, not only amongst jail staff, but as you said, other county departments. We
And I
all
would
work
get
together.
yelled at if I didn't mention Carrie Hall's participation
Yes,
in
yes,
making some of
you're
those.
right.
those
She's a big part. I think it was
criminal justice planning.
2 months ago, I think it was at Prison Board, we had a individual who stated that the MAT program at the jail, they believe saved her brother's life because it got him in a good space where he needed to be, so. So we definitely hear some positive feedback, which is nice.
Well,
So,
we appreciate all your efforts, and I know you're the one that makes that all happen up there. And
thank you. It's definitely a team effort. I'm just a little steer the ship left or right occasionally, so,
we'll have to make a fuss over Carrie when we see her
yeah,
next week.
we will.
Thank you.
Even though she's not stationed with us up there,
That's all right. We know where she works.
we know where to find her. I know where to find her house, so.
Right.
Well,
thank you.
Yes.
Thanks again, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thanks again to your staff and all the affiliated groups. Any questions from the press on this one? No? All right, so we take a motion then.
I'll move to add the contract with Prime Care Medical to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to add the contract with Prime Care Medical, Inc. to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great, thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Krista has, I think, a total of 3 different items for us, and we'll need to take 2 separate motions. for
Good
it.
morning. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
I have some year-end business to discuss with you. The first being the tax claim and collection bonds. So we purchase these every 4 years. So we are at the end of that 4-year period, and we're looking for your approval on the renewal of the tax collector bonds. We have 39 tax collectors throughout the county, and we are asking your permission or your consideration for the full tax bond, which is in the amount of $79,740. So with that full tax bond to cover everyone, we do break that down into 3 categories or 3 increments. The county's portion of that tax bonding would be $17,154, and then the school district pays $54,631, and the municipalities pay $7,956. So in reality, I'm asking for your consideration to approve the $17,154 payment. And that would run from January 1 of 2026 to December 31 of 2029, 4 full years.
Great, thanks for explaining that, Krista. So 4-year contract, and we do want to thank the Hartman Group for shopping that around for us and
Yes.
getting us a very good rate.
Absolutely, yes.
Commissioner Concepcion?
So do those other entities reimburse the county, or do we each write a check to the
Good
Hartman
question.
Group?
Hartman does a fantastic job of billing everyone separately. So we just have the one bill, and that's all we need to worry about.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
I'm good. No, thank you. It's excellent.
Then I'll move to add the contract with the Hartman Group to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to add the contract with Hartman Group to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries, and you have 2 more items for
I do,
us.
yes. So excited to talk with you about workers' compensation and our rates for next year. So we are pleased to say that we have gotten a fantastic rate from our current carrier, PMA, to renew for next year. So we would ask for your permission to stay with PMA for January 1, 2026 to January 1, 2027. The amount is of $136,030, which is a 13% drop from last year. It's a great rate. We have a high deductible plan, which means that we do remain very active in the first $100,000 of a claim, right? So we are very pleased with that rate and very pleased with their service. And for that affordable rate for a county this size, we just think it's a great offering. And to continue on to the second point, is that we just want your permission to sign a deductible reimbursement and security agreement document. It goes along with the renewal. It's just a 13-page document that just outlines the details of the high deductible program, and we ask for your approval to sign that for you folks. So those are the 2 items, and ask for your permission.
Well, that's fabulous, Krista.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of departments coming to us with 13% decreases
I know.
on decent amounts of money, although in this case, organization of our size, to have a workers' comp bill that low on an annual basis is tremendous. Does the Hartman
Yes.
Group also help us with this?
They do, they
Okay,
do.
well,
And they're
thanks again
they're
to the
instrumental
Hartman
in
Group.
negotiating that for us as well.
All
So,
right.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out for them.
Yeah.
Commissioner Concepcion?
No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Commissioner
tremendous.
Dershowitz?
Well, to have an experience mod the way we do, and to
Yes.
show that level of decrease certainly speaks to the value of having a risk manager that is on top of a lot of things, and we really appreciate that. I thank the Hartman Group, but that, I don't know what our experience mod is, but it must be incredibly favorable for
Yes,
us.
it is.
Because this is,
.07, I believe.
wow.
Whoa.
That's great.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Krista. Unless there's anything else, then we'll take a motion.
Okay, I will move that we add risk management items 1 and 2 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion, a second, to add the 2 items for risk management to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thanks, Krista.
Thank you.
Good
Well
job.
done. Good
Come
news.
back
Great
again
job.
whenever you have a 13%
I'm
increase in
happy to,
something.
I'd be happy to. Thank you.
Yeah,
We're
thanks.
working in the right direction for that budget already.
We are.
Exactly.
We are. Thanks, Krista. And with more good news, we have Ray from our planning department.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Two items
holidays.
for your consideration this morning. The first item is consideration of a grant agreement with PADEP, the Department of Environmental Protection, for the mosquito-borne disease control grant for the 2026 season. The agreement total is $93,389, which is fully funded by the state for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st of 2026. Just a few highlights from this year's program. We obviously cover 3 counties, but I'll highlight the Center County numbers. We did not have any human mosquito-borne infections reported in Center, Clearfield, or Clinton counties this year, which is good news. However, in our testing through the townships of College, Harris, Patton, Rush, Spring, and State College Borough, we encountered 17 mosquito samples that tested positive for West Nile virus this past season. In particular, one unique sample tested positive for Jamestown Canyon virus, which is unique to Center County, and it was the first one ever reported within Center County. The other good news is that we did not activate the spray truck this year. Once we do that, it's usually one of those years that we know is going to be bad when we have to put the spray-mounted unit on the truck and treat communities that are infested with mosquitoes. On a good news note, our mosquito disease coordinator, Sarah Conklin, completed her first season with the program, and I think she intends to stay on for the next. However, Roy Hurd, our technician, is retiring, so we will be having an opening, an announcement for that position as assistant technician for the 2026 season. So anybody's interested in that position to get out in the great outdoors of Center, Clearfield, and Clinton counties, we'd be willing to hear their qualifications and interest. So,
I don't think we have to hurry.
no, it's hard to talk about when it's 30
Yeah,
degrees
got a
out.
couple months.
I think we're safe for a bit.
Yeah, thanks for covering that, Ray, and glad to hear that we had no human infections from mosquito-borne viruses that we're aware of in 2025. That's kind of the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Conception.
well, the prevalence of West Nile virus in the samples indicates how important this program is.
Yes.
You know, we want to keep mosquitoes under control because that's the best way to prevent infection amongst humans and other animals, so.
I don't think it's lost on us that we have the opportunity to partner with Clinton and Clearfield counties to help them out as well, and I think that's, of course, I'm sure it's great for them to have that resource, but it's also, it allows us to coordinate things for a regional impact rather than just one county. So, thank you.
Yeah, so we do appreciate the state funding for that program.
Most definitely.
Again.
Again, and thanks, Ray, for hosting that program inside of your department.
We enjoy hosting the staff, and Stacy in our office also manages the budget and the grant with Dave Hurley out of the North Central office of DEP, so we're grateful for Stacy's experience and help with that as well.
Right? Well, unless there's anything else, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to add the mosquito-borne disease control grant agreement to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to add the mosquito-borne disease control grant agreement to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries, and the second item is something we're still really excited about as
Yes,
a Board of
most-
Commissioners.
most definitely, as we heard from-
For Eagle Creek.
Yes, as we heard from Leslie at the last meeting, we were announced, it was announced that we received funding for the Eagle Creek wastewater treatment project. What comes next is the contract, the digital contract the state will be sending. So we're asking for consideration for the commissioners to consider that discretionary program funding for Eagle Creek wastewater treatment to connect with the Mid-Center County Authority, authorize Ray Stalinas to sign the financial invoices throughout the project. The delegation of signing agreement form, once that's executed, we'll have the commissioners actually fully execute the contract, and the contract total again is $1.2 million funded by DCED, as that discretionary funding was available for, I believe, 5 or 6 projects, which one was ours.
Yeah. I think the total pool was only like 8 million statewide. So again, thanks very much to your staff for bringing this grant home. I know this was sort of our last try. You're allowed 3 tries per project for the discretionary program, and this was try number 3. And between this grant and the county allocating a full year's worth of community development block grant money for the whole county, just to this single project, the amount of expenses, at least forecast, that will be left over for the, I think it's what, 32, 33 families?
Yes, yep, that's the number.
In Eagle Creek will be reasonable. If we had not received this grant, the amount of money, $1.35 million divided amongst 33 families is just completely unaffordable. So again, thank you so much, Ray, and thanks to the state and the governor for choosing this as one of the 5 or 6 projects statewide this year for the discretionary program.
And I just wanted to mention the Homeowners Association has been fairly active in
Yes.
getting their design up to speed with Pentair Engineering. From my understanding, this project's going to move forward into 2026 pretty quickly, I believe. So we're looking
fantastic.
forward to seeing that happen.
And I believe this geography was Representative Paul Takak and Senator Chris Dush. Very much would like to thank the 2 of them and their staffs for pushing very, very hard to bring this project home to their constituents. Commissioner Concepcion?
Yeah, this was tremendous news, and thank you to your office for shepherding this through and, working with them as they complete the project. That's great news that they're, about ready to go with the construction on this. So, thank you.
Yeah, I think Leslie from CEDACOG said hopefully it might be done by the end of '26. That'd be tremendous.
Hopeful.
Fantastic.
Yep, absolutely tremendous. Steve?
Not much more to say.
Yeah.
It's fantastic news. 1.2 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's going to help some folks that desperately need it. So
Yeah.
thank you, Ray, and thank to Leslie and CEDACOG for everything that they've accomplished.
Yep, yeah, don't want to forget CEDACOG.
That's right.
They did a lot of the paperwork, and we'll
Right.
continue to help with that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's our Regional Economic Development Group covering Center County and 10 more counties in every direction to the east of us, past the Susquehanna River. All right, unless there's anything else, we'll take a motion.
Okay, I will happily then move that we approve the Eagle Creek wastewater treatment project delegation of signing authority form and authorize Ray Stalinas to sign the financial invoices throughout the project.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to gladly approve the Eagle Creek wastewater treatment project delegation of signing authority form and authorize Ray Stalinas to sign the financial invoices throughout the project. All those in favor, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great, thanks again, Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and now we have Chad from Information Technologies with an item.
Good morning. Today I'm going to ask the board to consider approval to provide formal notice to Mission Critical Partners that Center County will not be exercising the optional 2-year agreement, 2-year renewal on the county's agreement for on-site IT staffing services. I want to express our appreciation for the quality of support and partnership that MCP has provided in this area over the last 4 years. I want to note that this decision is not in any way a reflection of performance or the service delivery that they had. Rather, this is driven by a combination of budgetary considerations with an anticipated cost savings and a strategic shift with the county's IT operation to build and manage those function in-house. So the county has partnered with MCP over the last 15 years on many different projects, and we look forward to working with them in those areas. Today, this letter would serve as the required 180-day notice of non-renewal of the on-site staffing agreement, and that contract will conclude on June 30th, 2026.
Great, thanks for covering that, Chad, and just want to continue to stress that we're actually very happy with Mission Critical Partners. It's been a great partnership. They really helped kind of right the ship in that area and get things running much more smoothly, and we'll continue to utilize them as a technology supplier throughout several other county departments.
Correct, yes.
They have been fabulous, but it looks like at this point, now that things are smooth, now that more of our servers are in the cloud, now that we've had quite a while to get things fine-tuned, bringing this in-house might save us some noticeable money.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
Yeah. Commissioner Concepcion?
Yeah, I'll just echo Commissioner Higgins' comments on, that we've been very happy with the partnership with Mission Critical Partners. But, this is an example as we're going through our budget processes to look for where are some of the places that we can find some savings. I think this was a good one, so thank you.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
Yeah, I would also say that Mission Critical has been a tremendous partner of Center County for a very long time. They helped us, they were very instrumental in the design and implementation of our 911 system, and I want to thank them for everything that they've done. And thank you and Tanya for the great job that you've done, and getting us to a point where we can kind of take flight on our own. I look forward to seeing how that works out, and I'm sure we have the confidence in you to make sure that goes swimmingly well. So
Well, thank you.
good luck, and we're here to support you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that should say thank you, Chad and Tanya, for being willing to take on a substantial extra amount of work to manage almost the entire thing now.
Yep.
Yeah. Great, well, we appreciate it. I think we can take a motion.
I'll move that we approve the formal notice for Mission Critical Partners.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the formal notice to Mission Critical Partners. All those in favor, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great, thanks, Chad.
Thank you.
All right, and I'm assuming Julia's probably right around the corner. Here she comes with multiple items, including for Children and Youth Services, kind of sort of tied as the largest county department with corrections.
Good morning. So first up, I am asking you to consider approval of a contract with Common Sense Adoption Services to provide foster care services for dependent and delinquent youth. This contract is for a specific child so that they can be placed in a foster to adopt home. And hopefully, with your approval today, we'll be able to do that before Christmas.
Great, that was the point I wanted to highlight, is we're moving this quickly because we would like the child to celebrate Christmas in a house with the family.
Yes.
Commissioner Concepcion?
Yeah, is this a new organization to work with? or-
It is.
Yeah.
It is. When we were exploring purchase foster care agencies, looking for one that would have a good fit for this specific child, this was one that had risen to the top, and so they contracted with.
Okay, well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Commissioner Dershowitz?
It's all good.
Thank you. Great, well, looks like we can take a motion on this one.
Then I'll move to approve the contract with Common Sense Adoption Services.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Common Sense Adoption Services. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries, and then you have 3 items for the super department.
I do. So the first is a letter of agreement with Infant Development Program to provide early intervention services. This is a new provider to Center County. They are out of Clinton County. As you know, early intervention is incredibly busy and is feverishly looking for providers. So we were happy to find a new provider, especially one just next door in Clinton County. So this is to provide a myriad of services for the period of January 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2026. The next is a renewal with Oasis Life Care LLC to provide mental health services. This is, a longtime partner with the county. This is also a contract that goes July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. And then the third is a contract renewal with the Susquehanna Software Incorporated. These guys complete and submit quarterly state reports for the various departments in MHID. And so they do a lot of hosting fees and all of those things, all wrapped up to be able to report things to the state so that we can receive funding. And this is also from July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026.
Great, well, thanks for covering those, Julia. And while the number of toddlers in Center County is relatively stable, for some reason, there's just a lot more demand for services now, and we appreciate the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for covering the overwhelming majority of the costs, even though Center County government and our agencies are obviously doing the actual work.
Yes, yeah.
Commissioner Concepcion,
Yeah, no, sounds good.
Commissioner Dershowitz.
I just want to say, there's a reason why early intervention services are mandated services, because
Oh, yeah.
they really do make a huge difference in the growth and development of children. And I applaud you for finding yet another supplier for those services, because the need is there, and
Yeah.
it continues to grow, so.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is just awareness. And so, when people are more aware of services and opportunities available to them, this is one of those things that it's not income-based, so it, really serves a broad number of folks. And really, those early years and interventions at those times really do make a significant difference for children as they develop.
Oh, it's literally life-changing,
Yeah,
what it's
agreed.
capable of doing. It's fantastic, thank you.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's really important that parents are seeking out these services. As we're seeing greater demand, that reflects, parents taking the initiative to make sure their kids get the right start.
Yeah, and this department does a really, really nice job at really eliminating the stigma and making sure that the parents know that this isn't, necessarily anything they haven't done, right? But that
Right.
this is just a service that their child needs and will catch up, and then hopefully will go on along and along their way and develop, all the milestones that they can. And so they work very hard to do community events and things like that, so that people know that the services are out there, but that, eliminating that stigma.
Yes, Steve, go ahead.
No,
I was just saying, as Steve mentioned, providing these services when the children are toddlers, it's quicker, it's faster, they catch up with their peers. It's just a tremendous concept.
one last thing, we talk about human services, and the concept of cradle to the grave. This is the cradle part.
Yeah.
Yes.
It starts literally at day one,
Yeah.
and we provide those services until end of time. So,
Yep, well, actually, with the coroner, it would be,
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to consider him human service. I'm going to reserve that.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think his, as they say, their work here is done.
Yeah.
All right. Unless there's any other questions, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to add the MHID, EI, DNA items 1 through 3 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to add the 3 items for mental health, intellectual disability, early intervention, and drug and alcohol to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great, thanks,
Thank
Julia.
you.
Thank you.
All right, we have still a smallish consent agenda for the week. Take a motion.
I'll move to approve this week's consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries, and I believe we have a check
We
run.
do have the check run.
All right.
Yeah, the check that I'd like to highlight today is to Center County Youth Service Bureau. They're really a crucial partner in our Children Youth Services Agency, providing services of all kinds to families throughout our county. And with that, I would like to move that we approve the check run that is dated December 19th.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the check run dated December 19th. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. John, is there an administrator's report today?
Just one final thank you to Richard and his team for a challenging budget season. And also a special shout out to all the directors. As you know, we met with all of them early on in the year at our executive management meetings, and we spoke about how 2025 was going to be a particularly challenging year coming out of, the ARPA funding and things like that we had, and getting back to a normalized budgeting process, and they all stepped up and helped us get into a position so that we could continue services at the expected levels for 2026 and beyond. So again, I wanted to recognize all the directors and the roles that they played in this as well.
And a shout out to our relationship with the court system in Center County, because I think they've really, they've worked with us on so many
Yes.
different projects in so many different ways, and the president, judge, and the court administrator have been fantastic to make sure that, we work together on solving some of these budget challenges. Thank you.
Yes, and obviously, thanks to all our stakeholders for making it through 4.5 months of not being paid from the Commonwealth. We made it, and now we're preparing for a new year.
Yep. Nothing else to report.
Okay, great, thanks, John. Do we have a voter's registration report this morning?
So today on our report, our total number of voters is 102,095. That is down 36 from last report. Of those, Democratic voters comprise 41,413, Green Party 159, Libertarian voters 563, those with no affiliation 15,882, and Republican voters 42,075. All of the other minor parties come up to 2,003, and that brings us to our total of 102,095. Our precinct of the week this week is Precinct 23, State College SC2. There are 815 total registered voters in Precinct 23, and they had a voter turnout of 47.7% at the last election. They vote at Grace Fellowship Church Fellowship Hall at 1107 William Street, and that's right by our Easterly Parkway Elementary School. And we would like to thank Grace Fellowship Church for the use of their facility for running elections.
It's one of the few precincts with a nickname. We call it the Mellow Precinct.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the
Are you
residents
one of
of
the
that.
voters there?
Yeah, I'm one of the
I thought you
voters
might
there.
be. Yeah.
So always appreciate our election judges and election staff there, and the young ladies who sell the cookies, and somebody who occasionally shows up with soup, too. So always a fun time voting there in the Mellow Precinct.
That's great.
All right, thanks, Commissioner Concepcion. And then moving on to our announcements, Center County government offices will be closed tomorrow, Wednesday, December 24th, and Thursday, December 25th, in observance of the Christmas holiday. Do we have any executive sessions to report or hold, John?
No executive sessions to report or hold.
All right, moving on to our public meeting schedule. Next Tuesday, December 30th, the commissioners will be meeting at 10 a.m. And then on Tuesday, January 6th, the Board of Commissioners will also be meeting at 10 a.m. Do we have any questions from the press this morning?
Yep, I got a couple.
All right.
So first up is just about the prison board. They voted to approve that recreational area
Yeah.
for the facility. Just wanted to
Well,
get the
yeah,
reaction
to
to
give you a
that.
little more context on that, what we voted on was to forward the report from the warden on that topic to the state. We didn't actually approve any sort of construction or anything of that nature. We just moved that report on to the next step. And then we'll also submit that to the Board of Commissioners, which obviously we're aware of that because we also serve on the Prison Board of Inspectors, although we're not a majority of that board. Does
And-
that help a little bit with
Yeah,
clarification?
yeah,
Okay.
and so in terms of that report you sent out, the stuff that's actually in that area, did anything change there in terms of like what's being recommended?
Not necessarily. I believe the warden would prefer to either keep things as they are, or if there are changes, he would prefer to just be letting additional light or possibly additional ventilation into the current recreation areas, which are available, I believe, about 12 hours a day or so, John, to the residents of the facility.
And then what's the next step from here?
You mean at the Board of Inspectors?
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
sent off the report, so
Right.
like basically what comes next in the process?
Well, we're also having some turnover on the Board of Inspectors. We may have possibly a new chair coming up, so I think the group's going to have to chat amongst themselves again and decide if we move forward, when we move forward, what we might do. That's just the way democratically elected boards function. Every year or every other year, it's a whole new group of people, and you've got to start, maybe not over from scratch, but you got to back it up a little bit and discuss it again.
Gotcha. And then switching gears just real quick, January is, I believe, the soonest that the DOC could officially close Rockview, so I didn't know if you had heard anything more in that process of them starting to wind
Haven't heard
down.
anything official. As we mentioned, the commissioners, and I think pretty much every state elected official in the county, Representatives Conklin, Representative Takak, and Representative Benninghoff were all against the closure, and both state senators, Langer, Holk, and Dush, were also against the closure. I know there were some elected officials in the surrounding counties who were also against the closure, as I remember especially the Clinton County Commissioners as well. However, it appears to be a fact at this point, and we're just asking that should the state decide to, what's the official term, John? Divest, there we go, Steve had it, to divest any of that land, that it be in a transparent and public process.
And that we have a little bit of input.
And potentially some input from some local stakeholders.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Tim. All right, I don't see any other press. Unless there's anything else for the good of the order, we take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I will second that with the extension of blessings to everyone's family,
Yes.
and Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas to everyone, and look forward to.
We'll throw Kwanzaa in there too.
Yeah,
Yep.
Kwanzaa, and we look forward to working again
Yep,
next year for the citizens of Center County.
that sounds good.
And I
So
will second.
we have a motion and a second. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. We're adjourned at 10:54.